Another concept you need to know when using TypeScript to build Angular applications is the concept of arrow functions. So in JavaScript, we can declare a function like this. Let log, we set this to a function. This function takes a message object and simply logs it on the console, like this. Now in TypeScript, there is a shorter way to define this function. So let's call the other one doLog. Now we don't need the function keyword anymore. We can simply add the parameters, in this case message. Then we add this arrow, and that's why we call this an arrow function. And finally, the code block. So console.log message. Now, if our function has only one line, we can even exclude these curly braces. So we can make this code a little bit shorter and cleaner, like this. If you have worked with C#, you have seen this before. In C#, we call this a lambda expression. In TypeScript, we call it an arrow function. It's exactly the same thing. Now, if you have one parameter here, you can even exclude the parentheses. But I personally don't like this because I think it makes the code a little bit less readable. So I always like to put my parentheses here to indicate to the reader of this code that these are the parameters. Now, what if we don't have any parameters? We just add empty parentheses. And of course here, we don't have the message. So if you have not seen this before, get used to it. It's a really nice and clean way to define functions.